Okay, question number 1. Jocelyn estimates that a piece of wood measures 5.5 centimeters if it actually measures 5.62. What is the percent error? Okay, first and foremost, everybody over here, please put percent error equals. I'm going to take the difference between these two. 5.62 minus 5.50. Gotta throw a 0 there, otherwise it gets messed up. I get 21.0. Okay, your work on this question. If you want to write out your formula, 0.12 is the amount of difference in there. You're trying to find your percent, so I'm going to put X here. Then, you have to compare that to the actual measurement. It actually measured 5.62. So now I have 0.12 equals X 5.62. Now, I'm looking for a big, gigantic mathematical word. Does anybody know what it means when I divide by 5.62 on each side? I'm using the multiplicative.
Inverse.
What'd you say? Inverse. Divide by 5.62. Divide by 5.62. Now, there's one other small thing I got to teach you. And make sure that you're listening. Cancel this out. First of all, I always divide by the number that's by my variable because I want to get that number to be 1. 5.62 divided by 5.62 is the easiest math problem. It's 1. So I get X over here. Now, who's got the calculator handy? I'm not testing your decimal skills right now. 0.12 divided by 5.62. I want you to read what's on your screen because it's going to be different than what is showed here. 0.12 divided by 5.62. Haley, what do you got? 0.021. What is it? 35. Now, it says, round this 2 spots, move it over 2 places. 1, 2. 2.13% is my answer. That gets me question number 1. Question number 2. Emerson struck out 112 times at 350 at bats. That's not good. You got to put the ball in play. Your coach is going to be mad if you're striking out that many times. So now, it says complete the proportion to represent the percent of strikeouts per at bat. Okay, percent is always X over 100. I have to have 100 in my question when I'm talking percent. My 112 goes here. Okay, I want to see your work Monday when you do your test. So, this question is going to be, I usually like X on the left. Doesn't have to be. 350X equals 112 times 100. 350X equals 112.00. Divide by 350. Divide by 350. I need somebody out there. Give me a quick answer of 350 divided by 350 is 1. It gets me X. Then I'm going to have to stop you for one quick second, too, because it's kind of cool. Griffin, what's your answer? 32. If I do 11,200 divided by 350, I get 32. Then also realize I got the number above percent, so it's 32%. Since you guys are listening so good and I'm only at 3.5 minutes, let's go do one more. We might even get 2 of these done. A department store sells a pair of shoes with a 87% markup. Now, 87% means they're going to get the price of the shoes back to the 55.25, plus they're going to make 87% profit. If the store bought the pair of shoes for $55.25, what's the selling price? Okay, I need to do X equals 0.87 times 55.25. Now, this is going to be different than what your final answer is. If I have 0.87 times 55.25, does anybody have on their page 0.87 times 55.25? Then I can also teach you that there's a shortcut on this problem too. 0.87 times 55.25 tells me they're going to make $48.07 in profit. Now, don't forget though, you got to add in your 55.25. So, what is the selling price to the nearest dollar? That's kind of weird to go to the nearest dollar. They should just be going to the nearest cent. I get 32 here. I get 13, carry a 1, 103. 103.32 means it's 103. Now, I do want to give you a shortcut because if I was in high school, I wouldn't do the times by 0.87 and add it back in. Put right here to study this weekend. If you want to do this in one step, don't multiply by 0.87 times 55.25. Include a 1.87. The 1.87 is going to mean I get to include the 55.25 plus my profit. This is my wholesale. That's my profit. I'm putting it all in one step. Now, if that confuses you, and you do 0.87 and you want to add it back in, that's totally fine. Just leave that. And since we're clipping off and we're doing so well and they're listening so good over there, let's go to question 4. April took out a $600 loan at the bank. At the end of 5 years, she pays back the principal plus $60 in simple interest. What's her rate? Now, formula does not going to change. I equals PRT. Interest, $60 equals 600 times my rate, I don't know, times 5. Now, if you understand I equals PRT, interest will be the amount of money that it's either they're paying me to leave my money there, or the amount of money I have to pay back extra because I had to borrow. My principal is the amount I put in. Time is always in years. So now I get 60 equals 300x. If I get to right here, I want to go slow. Multiplicative inverse, get x by itself. Who can tell me what am I dividing each side by? Atria. 3,000. Now, watch how cool this is. Might like be totally cool if cross a 0 off, cross a 0 off. And 6 divided by 6 is 1. 300 divided by 6 is 50. It's 1/50th. You got mental math skills. You could probably do this in your head. What's the percent if I do 60 divided by 3,000? What was your percent you got? 2%. 2% loan.